This is like 2-3 weeks after their earthquake. You know, one of the kids that arrived had a body cast, you know, from the waist down, and had a note across the torso of the cast, and it said, "Never been X-rayed. Clinical diagnosis, mid-shaft fracture." You know, so, you know, you do what you can as a doctor. You know, I guess you feel around and say, "Oh, okay, this feels like there might be a break there." You know, so then they put a cast on. But when they came to the orphanage in Ornament, which is the town where we were, we took them. Well, first let me say, the orphanage where I was in Ornament has a very good relationship with the people in the community. And they know about this orphanage, and they've been there for 10 years, and they have a very good reputation. In fact, the Dominican Republic is right across the border. This orphanage sits right on the border. And sometimes they will refer kids from the Dominican Republic to come to this orphanage because they know that they'll be well taken care of. So I wanted to say that before I said, for the kids that were injured, before we took them over to the Dominican Republic, because I didn't want you to think we were taking kids out of the country, because I know that there was some of that went on, or they were attempting to do that. But in our case, the orphanage where I was, you know, people know who they are, they're well respected in the community, and we had to take them to the Dominican Republic because they had an X-ray machine. We didn't have an X-ray machine in Ornament, the town where we were. So anyway, that's like a whole other story on that trip. But you know, through my involvement in that, when I came back, I felt compelled. You know, what else can I do? You know, how am I going to respond to what I have seen and witnessed here? And so I was talking to Mom about it, and I said, "Well, Mom, you know, if you want to do something, you know, there are these pillowcase dresses, you know, that you can make, and it's something, you know, you could get a group together, you know, just think about it and talk to some of the ladies that you know and see if y'all might be interested in doing something like that." And so the next time I would talk to Mom, she was like, "Yes, we're going to do that." And I was like, wow, I mean, they just took the ball and ran with it. I was like, wow, I mean, that's just, you know, that's just wonderful. You know, I was just, you know, taken aback. And I was like, gosh, you know, God, you are just so good, you know. I don't even have to struggle to try to get people to help. You know, people are just like, yes, we'll do that, and they'll just jump on it. And I knew, you know, from being in Haiti a couple times before, I knew that, you know, clothing was something that they needed, and food is as well. But, you know, clothing is something that we can do here, work on here. And so the next thing I knew, well, I told Mom, she said, "Well, when are you going back?" And I said, "It looks like I'll be going back in June." And so then everyone here started working together and came up with these dresses, and I was just astonished, you know, when I looked at them, just how unique each one was, and, you know, the detail that went into it. And you know, it was just such a blessing to me, and such a surprise in that, you know, a lot of times when you're trying to do stuff in missions, you feel like, oh, this is going to be a struggle, I don't really want to ask, you know, for help or whatever. And I mean, this was just here, Lucretia, you know, it was just the most beautiful thing, just, you know, gift. I was like, wow, I mean, it's just such a blessing to me, you know, as well as the kids there. So, you know, we ended up with 75 dresses, and you can see what kind of influence Barb has in that community, working with the young moms and their babies, and, you know, working with them on the nutrition side of it. And she's been there for 19 years, and she also is very well respected in the community. And when I met with her, when I met her and then began working with her, I could see that, you know, she was the one that was going to be instrumental, you know, in getting these dresses to the kids that needed them. And when I left her the dresses, she told me, you know, I had these dresses in my backpack, and I just started pulling them out, you know, and putting them on her sofa, and I told her the story. I said, you know, I talked to my mom, you know, about, you know, things we could do to help, you know, the people in Haiti, and then she talked to the ladies at her church, and then the ladies at her church talked to each other, and, you know, they got together and got their sewing machines together and just had a good old time, you know, coming together and working on this project. And I told her, I said, I didn't have to do anything. I said, I just mentioned one small little thing like months ago to my mom, and then it was, you know, here we are, we have 75 dresses. And so we, when I was pulling them out and giving them to Barb, she said, Lucretia, she said, this is like manna from heaven. She's like, I can't believe this. This is just such a blessing. And she's like, there are so many children, you know, that need this. And so just to kind of understand the timing now, okay?